Hey there, sword friends and knife friends and everything steel friends out there. Today I have a purchase I made from Blade HQ. It's actually a really good company, great customer service. Always there to answer pre-sale questions and even after-sale questions. Quick, fast delivery, very good company. I would definitely buy from them again, so Blade HQ. So today I have two knives from the Boker series. The Boker Strike series. One is a Boker Strike and one is a Boker plus Stubby Strike, which is a little bit of a smaller type of knife. Basically they come in these pretty nice boxes here. So basically it has a magnetic tension here that you can basically open it up. Comes into a nice fitted padded case and all that, and the delivery was great, nothing was damaged, everything came when they said it was going to come. It's, one of the smaller knives, hence the Stubby Strike name for the knife. Then you have in the normal Striker, Boker Strike series, which is a little bit of a larger knife, also with the nice padded case. That there. They're nice, sleek knives. It has an aluminum, black aluminum handle. I guess it's a painted aluminum handle. It has some nice grooves in there that basically you can have some grip around the knife. Has the belt clip in the end, which I believe you can change over to the top if you want to have point facing up or point facing down. Obviously the point facing up I think is a little bit better for me, and it's the more practical way, but if you wanted to change it up to these other screw holes there, you can do that as well. And this Boker Strike knife is fitted with D2 steel. It has a spring assisted auto mechanism which opens like so. It's got a pretty nice spring on it. I mean, obviously it's not an expensive knife. It's one of their more affordable knives. It's about $49.95, but it works well. What I noticed that also when you close it, especially when you first open it, let me just try to do a better angle here. It's a little bit more of a tension where you really got to force it open. It's a little harder to do with one hand, but as it's getting worn in, it's a little easier to do so. But basically opening it up, it's pretty springy. It has no tension, doesn't wiggle around. The only thing that kind of wiggles is basically this locking mechanism that where you can lock it into place so it won't open and close. You can notice that. I think you could hear it where it wiggles a little bit. It's not too much of a problem, but other than that, it's fairly solid. Ergonomically, it fits very good in the hand. Okay, it has a little thumb groove right over here. Your fingers fit nicely into the knife. I think it has a very nice hold to it. Again, the rigid grooves around the aluminum handle really tend to give it a more solid feel in the hand, and I think, yeah, overall handling, I think I was very happy with it. So basically when you close it, if you take the tension groove off and you close it up, put that tension groove on, and it won't accidentally fire in your hand or anything like that. So that's actually a pretty good feature on these knives. And most knives have these features, but just well noted on this knife that it includes it for this price point, which is great. Okay, the next knife is the Stubby Strike. Okay, so it's basically a smaller version of this knife here. Okay, and again, it has a nice spring-loaded tension. It opens up. This is a blackened blade, whereas this knife is more of a take that tension off, is more of a stone wash type of finish. Okay, these are both D2 steel. Okay, you notice the stone wash, it's like a worn type of look, which I actually really like the look of the knife, and this is more of a black finish type of knife. I chose to go with the D2 steel model because the D2 steel actually is a better quality steel. The other steel that they offer is the AUS 8, which is like a cheaper Japanese steel. The D2 steel is like a tool steel, and it actually it's more of a harder type of steel. It's not as brittle as the AUS 8 steel. That's why I chose that these specific knives that come with the D2 steel. Its edge retention is better. The toughness is a little bit better. It may chip compared to like the softer steel. but it's also a little bit harder to get to a sharper edge if you wanted to do so. But it actually holds. It has a better edge retention than the softer steel. So actually, I think the D2 steel is a better choice when dealing with the Boker knives. So basically between these two knives, it depends on what look you like. I guess I wanted to get one with like a black finish type of look and one with the stonewash type of look. So it's not really like a glossy, it's more like a matte finish stonewash type of look, which I think you can see in the camera a little bit if I get the right angle here. And here's the black, more sleeker type of finish, okay? This knife actually in the hand actually holds pretty well too. Even though it's a smaller knife, I mean, your fingers stick out a little bit, but it still has the thumb groove. Your fingers still fit very nicely in here. And this is great for like smaller tasks. I mean, it's kind of my official letter opener or carry-on knife that, just for small tasks, but it basically has the same thickness and everything of this knife. It's just a little bit smaller. This is also a Bowie style type of geometry on this knife. It gives it that curvature Bowie style type of look. It has a straight edge. In terms of the sharpness level of these knives, I noticed that basically out of the box, what they call it is actually, what was the exact name that they call it? They call it usable sharpness. So it's not really a razor sharp edge. What I actually had to do is go to my leather stropping box, which is a leather stropping box from Beavercraft. You have the little shiner element right over here that you can spread right onto the blade right from over here. And basically I use this to strop the knives. I think I probably passed about 300 or so passes on these knives each. This one's a little bit more challenging because it's smaller, but basically with a little patience you can strop these knives to give you a little bit of a better edge, which I'm a little bit happier with. But I'll show you some paper cutting. So after passing these knives through about 300 passes on a strop, I was able to get into a better sharpness level that I like, okay, which is pretty good. Paper. Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, it wasn't cutting through the page as cleanly as it is now. There you go. So yeah, it's a little bit better in terms of the sharpness level after you strop it. So you can expect that when you pick up these knives, you're going to have to run them through a strop a little bit to get it to a sharper edge. Obviously, if you go into a higher price knife like a Cold Steel or something like that, the edge is going to be a little bit more refined and a little bit more on towards of a razor edge. So it's perfectly normal. I actually checked with them after purchasing, and it is that usable sharpness type of level. It's definitely sharp out of the box, but if you want a sharper edge, be ready to strop it a little bit, or maybe eventually I'll probably throw it onto a work sharp to get a little bit more of a closer to like a razor edge type of sharpness. But they're basically really good knives. I mean, it's for the price. I mean, if you want like an entry-level type of knife that looks great, feels great in the hand ergonomically, has a really nice spring to it, has a nice tension to it, solid, doesn't really shake, nothing really rattles, it fits really good in the hand. It's a nice tool steel that that once you have an edge will hold the edge better. It's a higher quality steel. I think this is definitely a great knife for you to get started with, or as a supplemental knife or something you want to carry around every day, not too expensive, and you don't have to worry about maybe chipping it or breaking it, and you're able to sharpen it up to a nice edge if that happens. One last thing to note about these knives, they are D2 steel, so there is like a carbon process in making this steel. So what you want to keep in mind is that the blade, with the fingerprints and all that stuff, you definitely want to keep them oiled from time to time, and maybe wipe them down after use, especially if your fingers come into contact with them. That's true with the stonewash type of finish, or also the black finish. The black finish is a little bit more durable because it's coated, but the blade definitely is out and can be oxidized and can be prone to some rust. So you definitely want to maybe keep these oiled, especially if they're stored for a long period of time and you're not touching them. You definitely want to just throw a little thin coat of oil on them just to keep them from rusting later on and having to regret it. But basically they are prone to rust because they are a D2 steel. So it's the way you basically take care of your Japanese katanas, you want to try to take care of these knives as well, considering the steel that it comes with. Yeah, I'm very happy with the purchases. Very happy with Blade HQ. Great customer service, like I said. Really, really good knives. Really good looking, sleek looking knives. Fit great in the hand, and I definitely recommend it. So that's pretty much all I have for you today. So go out and buy some freaking swords and knives. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for watching.